What you're going to see here is an inside turn, first performed by Natalia Molchanova in the 2010 World Championships in Okinawa, Japan during her 217-meter dynamic. As far as I know, this turn hasn't been done again in competition since then. I don't know why, it seems to be pretty effective to me. A while back I was writing an article about monofin turns. In that article I gave all the turns names, just so I could talk about them and refer to them. I called this an inside turn because in general you're facing the pool right to the wall during the turn. This turn and 4 kick glides is going to get me halfway down the pool. Nothing wrong with that at all. There's a unique aspect to this turn in that you really don't have to do much in the way of preparation prior to making the turn. You can see that I'm not going to start into the turn on this swim until right about here, about a half a meter from the wall. Several things have to be done at once here. The lower legs and fin are bent to the shape of an L. This will help to guide the legs and fin around the turn. The left arm is used both to push you off the wall and to propel you around the arc of the turn. The right arm is moved back in a relaxed way to prepare it for later use. The body is bent at the waist and twisted at the waist in the direction of the turn. This should be done in a relaxed and comfortable way to not induce any excess stress. The left arm has completed its push-off motion and will end up at your side. The right arm is beginning its stroke, which will both pull you away from the wall and complete orienting you with the pool. It will also end up at your side. The fin is in a bit of a diagonal orientation. This reduces the vertical height of the turn and makes it easier to do in shallow water. This turn can also be done from the surface. If you have to do that, you can control this turn in such a way that you end up deeper than when you started so that you can be submerged when you're finished. There's not much going on with the legs during this turn. They're basically just being dragged around the turn, with the fin following right along behind them. The right arm has completed its stroke, and now both arms are at your sides. The right knee is slightly bent. This helps to keep the fin in its diagonal orientation, helping it to fly nicely around the turn. You can complete the arm recovery to a streamlined position at any point now. I usually try to do it pursuant to the second kick glide. I just find this to be more efficient for me. It also helps to get that fin further away from the wall prior to making your first stroke. This reduces the likelihood of any damage to the fin occurring due to the fin striking or sliding against the wall during the turn. The fin flows into a nice upstroke and a normal kick or kick glide at the end of this turn. This helps to keep the fin submerged, particularly relative to turns such as the Catarina turn or the outside turn, and especially in shallow pools. There's nothing more useless than a monofin sticking out of the water during a turn. You can also see here, as we talked about earlier, how far the fin is away from the wall when I go to make my first stroke. Not much likelihood of any damage or wear and tear occurring to the fin during this turn. Now I'm starting my second kick glide. In this case, I did a kick glide after the turn. That got me about 7 or 8 meters at least off the wall, which compares very favorably with other turns you might want to do. There are two things that might be considered as disadvantages for this turn. The first is that it may be a bit slower than some other turns. Of course, I'm slow anyway, so almost anyone could do it faster than I. The second is that this turn may be a bit wide, which means you have to look out for things like ladders and lane ropes and things like that could get in the way. As an example of that, today it might have been wiser for me to turn left, vice right, in order to avoid potential entanglements with that ladder. As far as lane ropes go, I've done a lot of training with those, and so far I've never had a problem with any kind of interaction with them or getting caught up in them. I'm thinking that a normal monofin would have much less likelihood of a problem like that, just because of the shape of it, and much less likely to get caught up in stuff. That's the inside turn. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. If you would like to have a turn evaluated, feel free to make a video and send me the link, and I'll provide whatever feedback I can. Good luck.